Good morning and welcome to our music room. And great to see you all this beautiful day. And the next song we're going to do is At My Table. If you know the chorus, sing along on the chorus. We sing it a few times. It's a welcoming song. We are all welcome at the table, no matter who we are and where we've been. This is for the powerless, the wounded, and the weak. This is for the immigrant and those who cannot speak. If the ground beneath your feet feels unstable, there's a place for you at my table. If you're broken, you are welcome. If you're outside looking in, if you have no place of your own, my door is open. It's always open. To anyone wondering if you belong, anyone who feels afraid and not that strong, if you wanted to be confident but you weren't able, there's a place for you at my table. If you're broken, you are welcome. If you're outside looking in, if you have no place of your own, my door is open. It's always open. Listen, every pilgrim, when the road ahead is long, doesn't matter where you go, you're never too far gone. Even if you've lost your way or been unfaithful, there's a place for you at my table. If you're broken, you are welcome. If you're outside looking in, if you have no place of your own, my door is open. It's always open. If you're broken, you are welcome. If you're outside looking in, if you have no place of your own, my door is open. It's always open. My door is open. It's always open.
Hi, good morning. I'm Reverend Bob Trask, and we're here at Unity of Vancouver in beautiful, beautiful British Columbia. Forests, trees, mountains, snowy mountains, lakes, rivers, sounds. It's so gorgeous up here, and it's a beautiful day. Here at at Unity of Vancouver, we teach and we love. each other, and we teach universal love and peace. Today I'm going to prove to you that you are pure and innocent, no matter what you've been thinking up until now. It's time to claim your joy. You deserve it, and today you can have it. So stick around, we're going to have some fun.
And good morning. And I'm Janet Law. And as Bob said, today we are discussing our natural innocence. Reverend Bob's going to show us how nature works in our lives to heal us and to keep us pure. Speaking of innocence, here's a very timely quote by Patrick Rothfuss. When we're children, we seldom think of the future. This innocence leaves us free to enjoy ourselves as few adults can. The day we fret about the future is the day we leave our childhood behind. And here's another gem, this one by Ram Dass. When I was with my guru, I got a sense that when your awareness gets free of the stuff of your mind, you are like a baby again. There is a quality of innocence. It's innocent wisdom. It's simple wisdom. And now, let us come into the presence of affirming. We are now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. And now it's time for things that make you go, And this week, we have Terry Collette.
Take a reading from an introduction from a talk from Michael Meade, and the talk was a self-in-training, finding creative paths in chaotic times. And for those of you unfamiliar with Michael Meade, he actually paddled in a similar canoe to Robert Bly and Joseph Campbell. And this is the reading. When seen from the ground of fate and destiny, life presents us with the exact training needed to become our true self. The specific struggles encountered in life can open pathways to the center of the self where purpose waits to be found, where vitality can ever be renewed, and where spirit whispers its precise calling. Each personal crisis and life transition can evoke the esoteric pattern of the soul and the deep self waiting to awaken within us. The presence of the greater self is what shifts the ground of trauma and heals the aching soul. As things fall apart all around us, the deep self seeks to awaken our primary impulses towards creativity and the essential urge to become who we are and what we are at our core. The inner alchemy of the soul includes the subtle ground of unity, but also the vertical imagination that connects heaven and earth. The winding paths of initiation and individuation, along with the age-old practices of meditation and creative work, can all serve as approaches to the deep self waiting to be found within. Thank you.
Join us, will you, with the Aramaic Lord's Prayer. Holy Spirit, creator and life of all, you create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Our oneness now prevails. Your one desire flows through ours as energy fills all forms. You give us this day our physical and spiritual untangle the knots of error that bind us as we also release each other. We don't let appearances make us forgetful of the source. We're born free to act from our highest nature. From your presence comes the glorious harmony of life. Now these words are fertile ground from which our future grows.
My dear friends, will you join me? Let's go into a meditation. Let's close our eyes or get a soft gaze into the distance if closing your eyes is uncomfortable, and just sit and breathe softly in through your nose and hold that breath, not in a long time, but just until it feels right to let it go. And when you let it go, just let your whole body relax. Just fall into relaxation. Breathing gently in through your nose. Holding that breath. And then just relaxing and letting it flow out. And each time you do, allow yourself to go into a deeper space, an open space, a limitless space of sky and forests, mountains, and great seas. You know that all of those live inside you because you are the forest and you are the sea. And the great motion of the ocean is moving inside of you now. You are one with this universe. But more importantly, this universe is one with you. But you must let go now. You must let go of the self that you've constructed. And let yourself go back to being, just being. One with spirit. And as you do, we feel the self inside of your body. What you're feeling is not your body, but it's the reaction of your body to you being inside of it. You are inside of this body, inhabiting every cell. You are constructing and creating this body even now. And you are safe. You are safe. And your body is completely well. Your body is completely well. completely well. Your love, your joy, you are peace. Now, this self that you feel inside of your body, will you allow it to just move up through the top of your head to a place above the top of your head? Just go there with your consciousness. Just imagine that a few inches above the top of your head, there is a light. Go into that light. Just be conscious in that light. This is your higher mind. This is a higher mind meditation. While you're in your higher mind, if a thought comes to you, bring it up to your higher mind. Anything that occurs, bring it up to your higher mind, and it will dissolve. You, my dear, are pure spirit. You are pure love. You are eternal. You were never born. You will never die. You are the blessing of the universe. Never has there been, nor will there ever be another you, because you occupy that space and will forever. So breathe in gently the breath of God. Pure grace. Let it go through your lungs into your bloodstream and through every cell of your body, blessing and healing and relaxing. You are peace. You are peace. Now for a while, just stay in this space and know that you are blessed, know that you are loved, and know that you are free. And stay in this space until you hear Darlene start singing, and when that happens, bring this self back to the sanctuary. Now stay in peace.
the sweetest thing to me. All my life I will try to write down the song of you. Well, you know, it's there in your eyes, the stars up above. That's your song in the sky. You are the sweetest thing to me. Every bird, every bell is singing the song that words only touch. Do you know how I feel? The song in my heart is the love of the living for you. You are the light, shine on forevermore. I've said it 1,000 times. Oh, you are the light, shine on forevermore. You're so beautiful. Shine on my sweet you. You are the light, shine on forevermore. I've said it 1,000 times. Oh, you are the light, shine on forevermore. I've said it 1,000 times. Oh, you are the light, shine on forevermore. You're so beautiful. Shine on my sweet you.
My dear friend, we have a big task ahead of us today. I have a big task. It's my job to convince you that you're innocent, that you're as innocent as an angel, that you're as innocent as a beautiful flower, as a snowflake, that you're completely innocent. And how am I going to be able to convince you of that? Because you've screwed up so many times in your life. And you've made so many mistakes and you've committed some petty crimes, haven't you? You lied or stole or whatever. So for me to convince you you're innocent. But see, here's the thing. And what I realize is that on this planet Earth, in our human family, we have a disease. And it's a lot more pervasive and a lot more viral than the pandemic that we're now experiencing. It's It's a deadly disease, and it's called guilt. And we don't have guilt in order to keep us from doing something. See, that's the crazy thing about guilt, is that guilt is a state of mind. It's not the result of having done something. That's remorse. Guilt is an insidious kind of a disease. It goes in and becomes a mindset. And we've been taught by the government and by our teachers and by our parents and certainly by the churches that we have this guilt inside of us. And then we have to carry this guilt, and we have to always feel a little bit ashamed. When we do that, our personal power gets turned off. So those things that you want, those things that you've been dreaming of, those things that you want to create that just don't seem to quite come true for you, one of the greatest reasons is because down deep inside, subconsciously, there's a sense of unworthiness, an unworthiness that's called, I'm not worthy of that. And the reason for that is because I'm not pure and clean. We've lived on this garden planet as innocent children until the church taught us that we were born wicked. And that was the lie that created the myth called hell. And it's a myth. There is no place that you're going to go after you die that's a fiery furnace. That's totally baloney. But there is a hell. There's no question about that. It's right here in this world, and it can be inside of any one of us. And some of us have experienced that. And you know better than to go there again. You see, what most of us keeps us from our personal freedoms is our sense of obligation to be or to do or to have what we don't really want. What's wrong with that picture? A picture of horses in a pasture pretending to be camels. A picture of people who are innocent, pure beings pretending to be something else. Listen, Joseph Campbell, bless you, Joe, bless you and shine on us today. Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. Now, why did he say that? And why has it been repeated so often since his passing? Because it's the way of innocence. It's the path you and I came here to walk. Follow your bliss. We didn't come here to be someone else's music. We came here to be our own song. And yet we're often made to feel less than we are because of our individuality, because our individuality somehow doesn't fit in. A lot of lingering guilt, many of us feel, is left over from teachings about Jesus. Some say he came to die on the cross to save us from our sins. What sins? What sins? We make mistakes. Every animal on the planet makes mistakes. Mistakes are not sins, not marks on our eternal selves, our souls. The instant you make a mistake, you are forgiven. Instant you make a mistake, you're forgiven. Check out nature around us. Everything that happens, things happen. Lightning hits a tree and rips from the top all the way to the bottom, spiraling down and showering the forest with big chunks of bark. And that tree just keeps going, doesn't it? Just keeps going. Now, maybe the lightning killed it. Then you see out my back window, a tall tree with no more leaves on it, with no more greenery at all. All the needles are gone, all the cones are gone. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It stands white against the blue sky, and its limbs are beautiful. It did its job. And it left that beautiful thing for me to look at every morning when I'm having breakfast and the birds lighting in it. There's no mistakes. Everything that happens in this universe for a purpose. And these things that we call sins that you did, that's how you grow. When you were a baby, you fell on your butt. I looked this up at one time. It's amazing. Something like 72 times a day. Boom, 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 boom. But you never said, oh, I guess I'm just a failure. Oh, I guess I can't walk. Well, shame on me. You just got up and took off again. And after a while, you could walk. And after a while, you could run. And after a while, you could dance. And here we are learning to fly. But you can't fly when you're weighted down by a sack of rocks, of things that you say that you're guilty of. And that's not the way nature works, and you're a natural product of nature. You say, well, oh yeah, but I'm more than that, because nature is this physical thing, and I have a spiritual thing called the soul, and I've been taught that my soul can get marked with sins. The whole world is soul. The whole world is, every rock is filled with spiritual, is made of spirituality. Listen, the universe around us, according to quantum physics, now this is science, is just waves. Right now, as you look around the space around you, it's just filled with waves. They become particles when you focus on them. They become particles when you focus on them. So when you have a dream, when you have something that you want to accomplish and you focus on it out here in space, then it creates particles and it brings it to you, but only if you're worthy. Because if you're not worthy, you don't have the confidence to bring that to you. You don't have the confidence because you don't think you deserve it. Mistakes are not sins, not marks on ourselves, on our souls. The instant you make a mistake, you're forgiven. Otherwise, how could there be progress in your life? How could there be progress in the human family? If every time we commit a so-called sin, it diminishes us a little bit and we lose a little bit of our creative power, how in the Sam Hill did we ever create the wheel or the electric light? How in the world did we ever create medicine? You've got to be free. You've got to know that you are an ongoing incarnation of Great Spirit, of Holy Spirit, of the Creator of God. And as such, you're free to create, and you must create. I've told this story so many times, but stick with me. If I'm walking in the high country, backpacking in the high country, and I come across a rise, and there's a beautiful lake, not a big lake, just like a large pond, and the surface is just mirror still, and I can see behind it a mountain standing that's mirrored in the lake, and oh God, it's so beautiful. So I pick up a rock and I throw it out into the lake, and it smashes that mirror and it breaks it apart. Sin. It's a sin. I just interrupted something that was beautiful in nature. I just violated the process of nature. And forevermore, that pond will have a hole in it with, no, it won't. No, it won't. In a few minutes, it'll be still and it'll be a mirror again. Because that's how God works. That's how nature works. Those rocks that you threw into the pond of yourself, that's all gone. That's all gone. That's why today we need to get rid of self-blame and self-recrimination, because they cripple us spiritually. We need to put all those blames and guilts and sins and mistakes in a bag and drop them off the bridge. We need to set ourselves free so that you can get on with your life's work of being the true you, the child of the Most High. There's an unsurmountable beauty in children, isn't there? They're innocent, untamed, and they just are the way they are. They have no facades, no pretenses, and until they teach them, they have no shame. Until we corrupt them, they have no apologies, no regrets, no evil. They simply do what their hearts say they should do. And they're as innocent as they are, and they just stay exactly like that. Being a true child means being witty, jovial, and free. What if we adults were more like that? Just experiencing life on its own terms and letting it be. Don't you think that we as adults, don't you think that you as an adult can bring back that childlike innocence? Starting today, we could be experiencing every day true happiness, as well as simple, uncomplicated way of living. Innocence is the natural and sacred way of living. All we need to do is follow this advice.
Life as you knew it has fallen apart, and you've been left with a wounded heart. You feel so lost, don't know where to start, but love will show the way. You look for reasons and someone to blame, but that just leads to more hurt and shame. Forgiveness lights a healing flame if we let love show the way. Everything has changed, but love remains the same. If we let love show the way, if we let love show the way, if we let love show the way, we can all heal one day. There is no way to change the past. Love will help us move forward at last. If we let go, don't move too fast, and let love show the way. No one can live life perfectly. We make mistakes every day. We all need grace, come what may, to let love show the way. Everything has changed, but love remains the same. If we let love show the way, if we let love show the way, if we let love show the way, we can all heal one day. One day. We may have slipped off our pedestal. No one can stay there, we all fall. We hope our imperfections help you know that you don't have to get up on that pedestal. If we let love show the way, 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 if we let love show the way. can all heal one day. One day, all heal one day. Let love show the way.
Because love is the opposite of guilt, isn't it? Love is the opposite of guilt, and it's the home of innocence. The enroachment of the disease of guilt has nearly destroyed the human family. When I say disease, I really mean disease. You are love. You are blessed. You are safe. You are free. I know that you've learned differently about you, but you must cure that. It's up to you to cure that disease through affirmations, through affirmative prayers, through affirmative actions in your days, and letting love show the way, just following that. You know, this thing about guilt, this thing about us going around with guilt, denies the fact that we have a living creator. Listen, King David, 3,000 years ago, before hell was invented, before people were taught they were evil, he gave us the 23rd Psalm, beautiful 23rd Psalm. And together, let's read that. Just, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. Restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That was 3,000 years ago. And 1,000 years later, a descendant of his family came onto planet Earth, and at about 30 years old decided it was time to get on with his mission. And he began to teach us, and he taught us things that were just in line with what King David, his ancestor, had said, his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather had said, that we are innocent. Jesus said, we're forgiven as we forgive. We're forgiven as we forgive. So you want to be forgiven, you want to be innocent, then forgive. To the degree that you still hold animosity toward someone, or want them to feel guilty, want them to feel ashamed, then that is still inside of you as your own shame or guilt. So that's the passage is just simply, as you forgive, you're forgiven. So I think that we have to think very carefully about ourselves and about the passage that we have in our lives here. And I know, but to some degree, how it's going right now feels comfortable because I've been doing it for a long, long time. Been doing it for my whole life, and I feel like my guilt, not guilt really, I just feel bad about when I do bad things, and so that sort of guides me. But it doesn't. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. Guilty people do things that make them feel guilty because that's what validates their consciousness about their identity. Guilty people try to do guilty things. That's why people come out of prisons and a lot of them go right back in because they've been taught that they're guilty. They've been taught that they're bad people. What if they were in prison and they were taught they were innocent? I did a seminar with some of my volunteers, great group of people. I did a long seminar on this, on you're innocent. You did bad things, but you're not bad people. And we worked at that for days. We had all kinds of processes we went through. And before we went in, we did a test called the FIRO test to see where they were in terms of being civilized and having affect and those primary qualities of being a good citizen in our society. And they scored quite a bit lower than the average man on the street, obviously. Like 10 days later, we gave the test again, and each one of them scored higher than the average people on the street. Higher. And 30 days later, I went back and did the test again, and they'd fallen slightly. And the superintendent of prisons said, yes, that's what our prisons are doing to these people. And yet they can't fund that kind of seminar or training because people say then you're soft on crime, because people want people to be punished, because they feel like they need to be punished. John B. Izzo said, we may think of children as being innocent, and no one can be experienced, we may think of children as being innocent, but anyone can be experienced as innocent as any stage of life. At any stage of life, you can still get that, but you're going to have to work on it. You're going to have to work at getting rid of that stuff. Now we have to take charge of our eternal lives, and we can't wait around and let people and religions and advertisers and governments tell us that we're not enough. That's what the advertisements don't do, don't they? They come on and they say, you don't look quite right. You need to use more of this or some of that, and you're not perfect the way you are, but you are perfect the way you are and the way you're becoming, and you're enough. The advertisers and religions tell us that we're somehow flawed. Please hear me. You're a perfect, clean, good-hearted child of the Most High. You don't need to become what the world wants you to be. You came here to be the unique and special you, and that's the perfect in the eyes of the Creator, to be one with your Creator. You must know yourself as innocent. So we can't wait now. We can't wait off until tomorrow. The cleansing of our self-images, washing away the guilt and shame. That's baptism, isn't it? That's being reborn. That's remembering who you were before people labeled you as unworthy. Come on. Isn't it written that we are created in the image and likeness of God? Then how can we be less than pure? How can we be less than perfect? How can the image and likeness of God become shameful? So come on back home and celebrate life every day, just as a kid would. Smile as often as possible. Feel yourself being the person you were meant to be, enjoying every blessed little moment of life. It's in your hands now. It's in your hands to reclaim your joyous life. And parents, pay attention here. Anne Frank said, parents can only give good advice or put them on the right path. Didn't she? But the final forming of a person's character is in their own hands. Is in their own hands. So then it's in your hands now. It's in your hands. It's in your hands to be all that you can be. Pure, innocent. Do you have something in your life for which you're harboring some shame or guilt? Can you just let that go now? I don't think you want it to have become a cherished part of your identity, of your life story, and you don't want to stop telling it because it's your story. You can get rid of it now. If you were not shameful or guilty, would you discover a new self and a new self-worth? And can you handle that? I can tell you, dear friend, that that's what is precious about you. You are precious as the stars in the sky and the trees in the forest and the fish in the brook and a child. You are a perfect child of the universe. And stay with us at Unity. Go to our classes. Go to the Saturday morning wisdom circles and watch your life change. Watch the sunshine of childlike innocence start singing in your heart. I love you. Thank you for being with me today.
Firelight and moonbeams and fairies in my yard. Dreams in life when I was young and living wasn't hard. Hula hoops and mood rings when dress up made me queen. When did I forget all that and magic leave my dreams? I wanna be a child again, running wild and free, feeling the wind upon my face, trying to fly, trying to fly. So lift me up and toss me high, hold my fragile heart, tell me stories, slay the dragon, say we'll never part. I wanna be a child again, laughing with my friends and skipping rope, filled with innocence and hope. I wanna be a child again, leaping from high places with open arms, just knowing that you'll catch me in your arms. So lift me up and toss me high, hold my fragile heart, tell me stories, slay the dragon, say we'll never part. So lift me up and toss me high, hold my fragile heart, tell me stories, slay the dragon, say we'll never part. 'Cause all I really want is just to be a child again, sitting on my papa's knee, or to be young again and totally free. Totally free. Totally free. Totally free. Totally
Thank you. I have wonderful news for you. We're back. Unity will be opening our spiritual center at 5840 Oak Street in Vancouver for in-person 11 a.m. Sunday services. You can look forward to a grand opening with some great music and an exciting program. On March 20th, 11 o'clock in the morning, be there or be square. I'm telling you, it's going to be great fun. We're going to have fantastic music, and we're open, finally. And we deeply appreciate the patience you've shown us and each other during this pandemic. It's been a long and a difficult journey for all of us. We at Unity have done our very best and will continue to do our very best to keep everyone safe and healthy. Now, for those who can't come in person, our Sunday morning Zoom and YouTube broadcasts will continue just like they are. You'll just see me on stage instead of sitting in my office. And we hope you'll continue to be with us online. So, my friends, put it on your calendar, Sunday, March 20th, 11 a.m., in-person services beginning again at Unity of Vancouver, 5840 Oak Street in Vancouver. Thank you. Now, remember that on Wednesday night, starting at 6:30, I am teaching the class from my book, Romancing the Soul. This is about the Trask Triangle. This is the triangle that has set thousands and thousands and thousands of people around the world free to create their dreams, to live in innocence, to live with personal power, to have all of those kind of scattered ideas and thoughts put in a form so that you can take it step by step by step toward the accomplishment of your life's work, of your dreams. 6:30 Wednesday night. I hope I see you there. On Zoom, just go to unityofvancouver.org and click the class and hit Zoom or YouTube and you're there. See you then.
And I just wanted to make an announcement in regards to a minister who used to be here at Unity of Vancouver in the years 2012 to 2013. And Reverend Glenn Mosley made his transition. And he also was such a leader in the Unity movement. He held 2 doctorates and master's degrees and was a lifelong learner. He led the Association of Unity Churches in the Worldwide Ministries of Unity and was president and CEO from 1985 to 2005. It was a 20-year. He continued to serve on the Board of Trustees and was chair of that Board of Trustees for many, many years. He was an amazing man and he did amazing service here at Unity of Vancouver. And we want to thank Glenn for not only his dedicated service here, but how he devoted his life and focus and commitment to supporting the Unity movement. And so in regards to that, there actually is a service today and it is starting at 1 o'clock and the link will be in the chat if anybody is feeling like they would like to attend. Please look in the chat and you can copy that link and join the Worldwide Unity movement. Actually, many people will be attending that service. So thank you, Glenn, for your service here. And we also want to make sure that you know about next Sunday because the wonderful Bob Trask will be doing the Greatest Personal Challenge Can Become Your Strength. So we want to see you on Wednesday and on Sundays. And for those who cannot come in person, our Sunday morning Zoom and YouTube broadcast will continue as we will be doing until we open on March the 20th. And today's prayer chaplains are Barb Richards, Antonio Marante, and Jeannie Bell Irving. If you would like to have a few minutes with a trained prayer chaplain, I'll show you how to do that in just a couple of minutes. Since the beginning of human history, people have gathered in circles to share wisdom and to learn how to live more effectively in the world. Our Unity of Vancouver continues this tradition through our spiritual wisdom circles. This program enables deep discussion and a mastery of spiritual and metaphysical principles. So join us online for just an hour every first and third Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we will all know that we will feel better after we've attended. So the next one is Saturday, March the 5th. And now let us join Bob in our prayer for protection.
Thank you, Janet. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that is the way it is. God's blessing us. Thank you. Namaste.
Join us for the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth.